Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of IVoT Investment Insight. I'm your host, Andrew Tang. Just a reminder, there is going to be forward-looking statement, and also everything we talk about here is for educational and informational purpose only, and they are not investment advice. So this week, there's actually a lot to talk about. There are three things I do want to cover. The first thing is just the usual rundown of the economic data that have been released in this shortened week. Even though the week is short, but there's still quite a bit of data that came out. No major market moving economic data that we have seen as we begin the second half of the year. So the good news is that inflation continues to show deceleration. So that supports the case of the upcoming Federal Reserve rate cut, and that's important. Construction spending decreased 0.1% in May, which is pretty uneventful. U.S. home prices increased 4.9% in May as prices cooled. And asking rent mostly unchanged year over year. And job openings is unchanged, little unchanged at 8.1 million in May, and initial jobless claims also are just slightly higher. Vehicle sales decreased to 15.3 million, and that's seasonal adjusted annual rate in June, and due to recent cyber attack, and you may have heard of that in the news recently. Now, the second thing I do want to talk about is confessions from the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley. And Jim recently posted this on social media, also in X, formerly known as Twitter, and also in LinkedIn. Now, what he have said is basically his opinion into his foresight into the future of electrification. And he's a prominent figure. He runs one of the world's largest auto manufacturing companies, and he just basically confessed on how he loves this electrification while he is he consider himself as a big petrol head, right? And I quote here, "It wasn't government policies or political beliefs that sparked this late career romance with electric vehicles. It is because I drove one. My Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum. It is astonishingly quiet and smooth. The effortless acceleration leaves you with a silly grin once you get the feeling back in your face. Every morning, mine is topped with 300 miles of range, no gas station ever." Now, this is, again, coming from a Detroit petrolhead CEO running Ford, which is, again, one of the largest auto manufacturers in the world. And the quote continues, "It takes time for innovation to take hold, but when they do, the shift is profound and lasting. I believe the next great shift for vehicles will be towards software-defined electric vehicles." We couldn't agree with you more, Jim. And the quotes continue. "The tipping point we're working towards will come not from regulators who push us or from politicians who try to hold us back. It will come from consumers, not when arbitrary market share is reached, but when electric vehicles are simply better for most customers. Better to drive, cheaper to own, and easier to integrate into daily life. This is reality for millions already." Now, this is significant because Jim Farley came across as an honest, sincere, and quite relatable person, even though he is a CEO of a large corporation. And I'm going to share the link down below of the video that he was interviewed by CNBC. So I think it's really intriguing to look at that video. And in the world of change, obviously that leads to artificial intelligence. And one of the things that I do want to talk about on the third topic, it's how AI is going to affect many jobs that are existing out there. And today I'm just going to cover a few jobs that are going to be affected by AI. Now, first is manufacturing jobs, assembly line workers, robots, automated system. They can basically perform repetitive tasks with high precision and efficiency, right? You don't have to pay benefits, and they don't necessarily have to rest. And robots typically, according to the statistics, they do a much better job and more precise, and they don't really get tired, right? So machine operators, out of the manufacturing job, this is another segment that automation from machines aided by AI, it's going to greatly affect this type of jobs. Another type of job is retail and customer service. Cashier, self-checkout systems, automated payment solutions, all these are reducing the need for cashier. We're also seeing that in fast food restaurants. McDonald's was the perfect one to use as an example because of the automatic kiosks that they were built, and it eliminated another cashier that would be taking your order. And instead, the users will just be using the UI or the user interface to put their order in. And guess what? Most of the orders that are entered into the kiosk has a 15% of higher sales than talking to a cashier, over the counter. And that's an improvement. It's an improvement. So customer service or customer support representative are also more and more, as we see, replaced by chatbots and AI-driven customer service platform that can handle a significant portion of the customer's inquiry. And of course, we always, have dealt with customer service when we call or when we chat, and we always have to go through this troubleshooting, and it's always start with level 1 and then it gets escalated. So as AI gets better and better, the model gets trained with more sophistication and efficiency, we can expect that the chatbots and the automation will improve over time. Now, another job category that's going to be affected will be in the transportation and logistics area. So truck drivers, Uber drivers, for example, car service, self-driving technologies and automation is going to greatly reduce the demand for that. There are on the road right now, there are robotaxis that are already in operations. Waymo, Cruise, I know Cruise was just recently been taken off, but they're going to come back in. And also Tesla on August 8th is going to be a huge announcement for their robotaxi network. And that's going to be very exciting. Also, warehouse workers. Robots are increasingly using sorting, packing, transport goods into the warehouse. Amazon and Walmart, they are the 800-pound gorilla beginners using robots for logistics and warehouse automation. So these are the categories that are going to be affected by AI. Now, another category that you might not think of is financial services. So bank tellers, online banking, ATM machines, they're really diminishing the need for in-person banking services. Also, financial analysts, risk analysts, AI and software can basically replace those as well. And another category is administrative and clerical jobs. Data entry clerks, automation and software can basically replace the humans doing these type of work. Secretaries and administrative assistants, it's another category. AI can reduce handling the scheduling and also communications with basic admin tasks. So administrative and clerical jobs can also be affected by AI. Another category is healthcare. Radiologists, technicians, diagnostic technicians, for example, AI can analyze the medical images and detect anomalies with high accuracy. So, for example, if you go visit a dermatologist, and the dermatologists, currently are still using a magnifying glass and looking through the patient's skin, right? So you can imagine if this imagery is fed into AI, AI can basically deliver a much more precise examination with higher accuracy. And again, the doctors, they will get fatigue, from looking at the skin. But the machines, they will basically cross-check and reference, the anomalies and certain patterns across the database that they have access to. And it's going to greatly improve the accuracy of the findings and examination. Now, also in the healthcare space, we have pharmacy technicians. The automated dispensing system are capable of filling prescriptions without human interaction. So that's also another area that will be affected. Legal services, paralegals and legal assistants. AI can perform legal research, document reviews, and even basic drafting of legal documents. Now, many people, myself included, have already been using large language model like ChatGPT to proofread your work, right? That's very commonplace. Now, we also understand that ChatGPT passed the bar exam, and it's just getting better and better. And the cost of training these large language model are greatly reducing. And so we're just going to see more and more effect and applications of AI affecting some of these jobs. Now, last but not least, another category of jobs that's going to be greatly affected by AI, and that's in the writing and content creation area. Now, for example, if you are in the copywriting, if you're a copywriter or if you're a journalist, AI can generate news articles, marketing content, and other forms of written material. So again, these are just some of the job categories that are going to be greatly affected by AI. I'm not saying that these jobs are going to be eliminated. It's going to take some time for that to take place. But for those that are, studying or going to college, for example, that is something for you to think about, or maybe you want to include some type of artificial intelligence and training so that you could be the operator of AI in that space. And so that's something for you to think about. Now, that's all the time we have for you today. We're also going to include the link to the video of Kai-Fu Lee, who is a leading pioneer of artificial intelligence in China. And what he has to say about how AI is going to change the jobs market in the near future and also in the foreseeable future is definitely worth for all of us to take a listen and watch. So I hope you enjoyed the link. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of Investment Insight. Again, stay till the end to look through the disclosure. And also, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave on the comment below. Any other topics that you want us to cover, we'll be more than happy to respond to it. So again, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video and hit subscribe if you want to continue to receive content like this. And we'll talk to you soon.